Hey folks, just a quick video there. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine during the week and we were talking about our favourite TV shows when we were kids growing up. Now we had only two channels in Ireland at the time and we had one channel until 1978, so we might have got some of these shows later than they were shown in the US. But I was going to do a top 5, but I kept leaving out one show that I really enjoyed. So I do a top 6, and these are the 6 of my favourite TV shows when I was growing up as a kid. At number 6, we have Man from Atlantis. This was a great show. As a kid, I loved it. I remember seeing the first episode of this and seeing Mark Harris wash up on the shore, and he was trying to breed, and they brought him around, and then it kicked off. I don't know how many seasons it ran for, but as a kid growing up in the 70s, I was fascinated by this. Everybody was in the pool trying to do the famous swim he had. Patrick Duffy, of course, went on to star in Dallas. He became a big star out of Dallas. But I fondly remember Man from Atlantis. These shows back in the day, they were great. Have they stood the test of time? I don't think so. The effects in these were of their time. But as a kid, you don't really look at these things. You just look and you're fascinated by the storylines going on here. They were, some of the storylines in these were ridiculous. But as an 8-year-old kid, you didn't care. You were just looking at Man from Atlantis, and that ship, that submarine they had as well, was fascinating. So that's number 6, Man from Atlantis. At number 5, we have Gemini Man, starring Ben Murphy. This was another take on The Invisible Man. And it actually took over from The Invisible Man with David McCallum, which didn't do well in the ratings. But Gemini Man was, for me as a kid, it was great because it had the digital watch, and everybody was fascinated with this digital watch. When he pressed it, he went invisible. It lasted, I think, half a season, and they cancelled it. It wasn't really popular. But again, as a young kid, it was fascinating to me, and I really enjoyed it. And I always liked Ben Murphy. Acting back in the 70s. He was in Alias Smith&Jones as well, a very good and likeable character. So that's Gemini Man at number 5. At number 4, we have The Invisible Man, the show that was replaced by Gemini Man. This starred David McCallum. He was famous for Man from U.N.C.L.E. And later went on to do a very, very good TV show with Joanna Lumley called Sapphire and Steel. I loved this as a kid. I really did. I don't know why this failed to excite audiences back in the 70s. It revolved around him painting a mask, a latex mask on himself, and he used to take the mask off and become invisible, and he partnered with his wife, and there were very, very great chemistry between both actors here, and very likeable characters. This was a smart show. Even as young as I was, this wasn't your punch-up TV show. This was a really smart show, and David McCallum was great in it. And I fondly remember this TV show from the 70s, The Invisible Man, starring David McCallum. That's number 4. At number 3, we have, of course, Buck Rogers in the 25th century. This was great. This was sci-fi, gold for a child. I mean, Buck Rogers is a great character, and Gil Gerard played him so well. And Colonel William Deering, played by Aaron Gray, one of the first strong female characters. I mean, back in the 70s, this was big. It was fantastic the way she portrayed her. She was a strong character, and I'm afraid they ruined her character in season 2, and of course they ruined the whole TV show with the second season. I don't know what they were trying to do there. They threw everything out they had from the first season, which was great. And I fondly remember this show. I mean, I've seen it recently in reruns. You can see all these shows on reruns on various channels. You can get them on YouTube as well. But Buck Rogers in the 25th century, as a kid growing up, was must-see TV. That's number 3. At number 2, we have Chips, the California Highway Patrol, John and Punch. We were obsessed with this as kids in Ireland. We really enjoyed this. Larry Wilcox and Eric Estrada. Great chemistry between the two, and it was fascinating to see the California Highway Patrol on the motorbikes. Everybody wanted and pretended as kids to be John and Punch, two officers of the Highway Patrol. Brilliant show for its time. Again, as a kid, these were great. Has it stood the test of time? I don't know. The storylines are wild out there, some of the storylines in it. But it was a great show for a kid growing up. It was fantastic, and a must for young kids. At number one, my favourite TV show of the 70s, growing up as a kid, I loved and adored this show. It's The Incredible Hulk, starring Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno, and the great Jack Colvin as Mr. McGee. What a great show this was. I remember seeing the first episode of this when it came out in Irish on Irish television, and I think it was 1978. I was 9, and it just terrified me. I thought it was terrifying when he first changed into the Hulk, and Bill Bixby's portrayal here of David Banner. They changed the name of the character from Bruce Banner of the comics to David Banner in the TV show. I don't know why, but anyway, but his portrayal of David Banner, stroke Bruce Banner here is for me, Mark Ruffalo was great as Banner in the Marvel movies, but I think that Bill Bixby's portrayal of Banner in this TV show was absolutely fantastic. Really, really great. I loved him in this role. I loved the TV show, getting whatever adventures he was up to every week as a kid. We couldn't wait to watch it. It was just a must every week for me, and I mean, it was 10 out of 10 for me when I was a kid. Again, as I said, the Marvel movies came along, and we the special effects are a lot better. It's been CGI'd. And back then they had to use Lou Ferrigno as the Hulk, and he was a bodybuilder at the time, and he was terrifying to me as a kid. He was great, fantastic. So that's my top TV shows, my favourite TV shows as a kid. I'd love to hear your top 5 or 6 TV shows when you were a kid. What did you like growing up? And of course, as I said, all these TV shows I mentioned here, you can get them on YouTube or stream them on various channels. We've so much choice nowadays that, as I said back in the day, we had one channel till 1978 and 2 channels. The second channel came on then. So that's my top favorite TV shows. As I said, slap a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. I really, really would appreciate it. McCord Movies, and we'll talk again soon. Take care.